So what we have here, guys, is the Dome of the Rock, which is a shrine built in the late 7th century by Muslims, and it's supposed to commemorate the point at which Muhammad ascended directly into heaven. That's what it's supposed to commemorate. It's also called Dome of the Rock because within, kind of underneath its shrine, you have what people call the foundation stone of the temple. So like the cornerstone, so to speak. And that's kind of the real significance of the Temple Mount. Is we're standing right here on the Temple Mount. The former Temple of Solomon and the second Temple of Zerubbabel that was later added on by Herod would have stood somewhere up here. Most scholars think it would have stood essentially right where the Dome of the Rock stands. So most people think that the Dome of the Rock covers what used to be called the Holy of Holies and the temple stone, the foundation stone of the temple. So this place, of course, is incredibly holy to Jews and to Muslims and to Christians, of course, as well, although in a different kind of sense, because I can't help but think of Jesus's conversation in John 4 with the Samaritan woman. The Samaritans had their own shrine where they believed that they should worship in the city of Samaria. And as Jesus was talking to her, she says, "Our elders say we need to worship here in Samaria, but the Jews say we have to worship in Jerusalem." And then Jesus, of course, famously tells her, "The time is coming and now is when you will not worship in this mountain or in Jerusalem." And I believe that's prophetic. I do believe he's pointing to the fact that shortly after his life, the temple would be destroyed and the shrine in Samaria would be destroyed, which it would in 70 AD by the Romans. But Jesus is saying the time is coming when we don't need shrines, we don't need places to go, but those who worship are going to worship in spirit and in truth. And so what we have here, we're touring, and it is, I think, a very interesting place to see because the Temple Mount could have potentially been there. But at the end of the day, we worship God in spirit and in truth.